Welcome to Chefs in the City. I'm Ann Fisher, along with my co-hosts, Steve Stover and Rich Terapak. We're here to talk about food in its many iterations, from farm to table, be it at home or away. And home cooking always starts at the source, right? From the farmers markets to the North Market to your favorite local grocer. And in Clintonville, for most, that's Weiland's Market. It's a fixture there since 1961, when John Williams and George Weiland opened their store called Weiland's Fine Meats at West Beaumont and High Street in Clintonville. Just, put on your memory cap there. A year later, the store moved and expanded at another location and was expanded 3 more times before moving to its current home at 3600 Indianola Avenue in 1999. John Williams and his business partners continued to run Weiland's until 2011, when his daughter Jennifer Williams and her husband Scott Bowman took over. So that's the last time I really caught up with Weiland's folks, now that I think about it. In the spring of 2024, 2 longtime managers, Andy Russell and Daniel Phillips, took the reins of the business that had grown from 4,500 square feet and 17 employees to nearly 19,000 square feet and 90 employees. On their website, they talk about Weiland's tradition, and that's what we're talking about today with Daniel Phillips. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So what is the Weiland's tradition? What are you referring to, and what do you think about when you hear that?
I think we tried to kind of capture the old school feel of a grocery store. It's where people gather. It's where people come to feed their families. That's really what it is. You can go in, you can buy food for the week, you can buy a wine for a special occasion, you can really get anything. The store has changed a lot, and I think we can provide more and more, but that's always kind of been the ethos, and that's what we try to hold on to.
The store's changed a lot. I've been going there about 25 or so years, maybe 30. It doesn't feel like it's changed that much. No. Does that make sense to you?
No, yeah. We really try to keep that small feeling, that kind of that feeling of community. You feel like you're in a close-knit space.
Yeah.
And I don't think we would ever want to change that. We would never want to be this huge, sprawling place where you can get anything and everything. We want you to be able to grocery shop, to get all the food that you need, to get some home goods, things like that, alcohol, obviously, but we want to keep it that close feeling, that kind of cozy feeling.
Ohio State Buckeye memorabilia.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Or a set of dishes, perhaps.
Yeah, we kind of, we've kind of fallen into, this is what we do, and I think we do it pretty well. We have a lot of employees that really, really care, that do a great job with it. And we just want to keep that going.
I always think about meat when I think of Weiland.
Absolutely. And that was their focus, originally. That was basically what they sold. And when they moved, before they moved to this location, when they were further north on Indianola, it was a U-shaped counter. And the employee would help you along the whole thing, and then they would ring you up. So they would get your meat, they would slice your deli meats, they would get anything else you needed, grab buns, whatever, and then they would ring you up at the register. So it's a little different than that now, but it's still, the focus is still the meat department and increasingly the prepared foods.
Prepared
all
foods.
the cooked stuff.
Yeah. Those are the 2 things that come to mind.
Yep.
Really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great assortment.
It feels bespoke when you go in there, and everything feels that way. Yeah. That it's not just mass produced in some giant kitchen and then shipped out there.
Right, and we tried to. I don't think we want to be and the original name Weiland's Fine Meats. We have a lot of gourmet items. I think we don't necessarily want to be just a specialty shop or just a gourmet shop. You eat a lot of meals in a week, and we want to be able to, get you the food you need for all of them.
Get some mac cheese or whatever it takes. Huh?
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to buy a bag of flour.
Yeah.
You need the basic stuff. So we try to cover you for all the meals that you eat.
And one of the things that's unique is that the pork is local from Ohio.
Yep.
The lamb is domestic. There's a huge difference, in my opinion, with domestic lamb. We always ask for it.
It's in your regular rotation, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Shopping King?
Yes.
Yes.
But domestic.
I'm calling from Weiland's, or I'm calling for here or there, and it's it's periodically it's on the list.
Well, it's like, oh my God, we're out of Angostura bitters. Where are we going to find them? And when you get there, you can't choose because you have 45 different kinds.
Yeah, we have a ton of bitters.
Ironically, considering you don't have everything for everybody.
Right?
But,
Yeah. The bitters. We have a great bitter selection.
Yeah, and the spirits collection is
the spirits, the wine, and we always tell people, with wine, seafood, any of these things, we don't have everything. If you have something that you want, we can probably order it. Yeah.
In fact, when I was in Weiland's one time, I was thinking about a wine, Bonnie Doon, and it's made in the south of San Francisco with an iconic winemaker. And they ordered 3 bottles for me right then and there.
Well, I was looking for something one day in there, and someone immediately said they didn't have it, and they immediately said, "Do you want us to order it for you? We'll do that." And I don't know how long. I mean, there's no other place. Well, there are a few the specialty stores will do it, but you
nobody
go to
else
the big
is so
box
upfront in
grocery
ordering.
store. They kind of stare at it and go, "Yeah, we don't have it."
Yeah.
Well,
I'll check on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our employees, Andy and I, but then also the employees, from the top to the bottom, I think they're truly invested in the customer service aspect of it. And when they're presented with a challenge or a problem, they want to meet that challenge.
Yeah.
And, that bottle of wine, it might be, or if there's a meat someone would want me to order when I was the meat manager, maybe I don't know what it is. Well, now I get to figure out what it is, and now I get to see it, and I get to cut it.
Yeah, you get to learn.
And I get to learn, yeah. So we have a lot of employees that when they're faced with something they don't know or something we don't have, they don't have the mentality of no, we're done. It's like, okay, what can we do? How can I get it? Can I get it?
Yeah.
And more than once, after I've gotten a special order, they've actually had it in the store after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Customers have great ideas, and if they tell us the things they want to see, we'll provide them for sure.
How long did you work at Weiland's before you took it over?
About 10 years.
How do you get into the grocery business these days?
So I worked in restaurants previously my whole life. I thought I was going to do that my whole life. Kind of got burnt out on that.
It happens.
That tends to happen. And I wanted to learn how to cut meat. When I was at G. Michael's, we would get a half hog in. And somehow or another, I kind of I got to break down the half hog often. And I really liked it, so I wanted to learn how to cut meat. And I knew, a friend of a friend was the meat manager at the time at Weiland's.
Okay.
So I got a job just at the very bottom in the meat room doing the grinds, making sausage. Had the best meat cutting teacher I could possibly have, which was Scott Bowman, the former owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just an incredible worker, an incredible butcher, and just kind of kept working and kind of worked my way up from there.
We can't talk about anything retail related, especially retail food related, without talking about the issue of tariffs and what things are costing us. It's become hyper politicized, of course, but I'm wondering what has been your experience so far with, what I'm just going to refer to quickly as the Trump effect on grocery store and stock availability, because it was something he brought up back during the campaigns, and now we're seeing it come to fruition.
Yeah, I think
in a bad way.
Yeah, I think everyone is aware that groceries and pretty much everything else are just more expensive
since
right now.
Pandemic, for one thing.
Yeah, the pandemic was just a mess that screwed everything up, and then it's just been very dramatic highs and lows on everything ever since.
We might have some specials on soybeans.
Yeah, that's probably impending. But even with that, so because we get a lot of stuff local, it doesn't always directly impact us, but things that impact the market at large is going to have an effect on us. Right. So we use Gerber chicken for all of our chicken. We get the local pork, but things like feed, the price of feed is impacted, which means it's going to impact the price
down
of the meat.
Down the line, yeah.
Yeah, and even if we don't get, even if we're not dealing with like imported beef, because the imports and exports are affected by the tariffs, it's impacting another part of the market, which is going to also impact us. So all we really can do is just keep an eye on prices. We do what we can to keep our margins as tight as possible whenever possible, because we know that things are expensive and that hurts people.
Aren't they already famously tight margins in the grocery business?
Yeah, they are. And that's, I think, a lot of places you really have to toe a very fine line, because a lot of businesses go under, I think, because they don't keep up on their pricing, or they say, well, there's no way I can charge that. So then they just don't make enough money.
Right.
The margins are just razor thin. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Kroger's going to be fine. Walmart's going to be fine.
The economies of scale, so forth.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're not going to see, mass closings of Kroger or anything, but it's the small independent restaurants, grocers that are going to be hit the hardest.
Because at the same time, on the other side of the equation, these really important costs of employees has gone up as well. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are about that. We've had a couple shows over the years just about changing our attitudes towards service people in the food industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tight, and that's independent business owners, restaurants, grocers, whatever, are really between a rock and a hard place, because you can't it's not a good business model to pay a bad wage, and it also is just kind of a crappy thing to do. You want to be a good person. You want to pay people a good wage, but then you have to make enough money to be able to do that. I think the scale at which we're at, we're kind of, and I tell people a lot of times, we're kind of too big and we're kind of too small. We're too big to buy one pig a week and break it down, and that's in the meat case. We sell way too much for that. We're too small to get the advantages of like a Kroger that has a ton of buying power that's going to get better prices. So we're really like this weird in between. But I think the size that we're at, we have the resources that we can provide not only a good wage for our employees, but a good benefits, a good experience. We do employee appreciation. We do offer benefits. We have different things that a much smaller company maybe can't afford to offer, essentially.
Did I see you shut down for a days, or sometimes you put signs up in your store saying we're going to be closed from this to this? Am I just making that up?
We're closed 4 days a week. Or 4 days a week. That would be terrible. We're closed 4 days a year.
Like, now I want to know your trend.
New Year's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Okay.
We're open every day other than that.
What's the busiest day of the year?
The busiest day of the year is 2 days before Christmas.
Really?
Because
I was going to think Thanksgiving, but
everyone thinks that. So they're picking up. We sell a ton of beef tenderloin and standing rib roast. Everyone has the same thought. It's going to be crazy on Christmas Eve. I'm going to go the day before. So the 23rd of December, every single year, is the busiest day of the year.
And Christmas Eve is kind of quiet? Or?
Christmas Eve, we get, and we take so many orders. And whenever this comes out, we're taking holiday orders at that point. Everyone thinks, okay, I'm going to come in. So like for Christmas, I'll come in the 23rd.
Yeah.
And then we'll tell them, okay, you can do that. That's fine. It is the busiest day. And they say, that's okay. I'll be there first thing. So before we open the doors, there's a horde of 50 people waiting to get in. And then by 1 o'clock, we're twiddling our thumbs. There's no one in there.
Okay, why don't you come at the end?
And actually, our customers, which we have the best customers. Yeah. We really, I mean,
you're looking at them.
Yeah. Well, and everyone, when I came in, said, I love Weiland's. It's so great. And everyone had a story about Weiland's, which it really means a lot. But our customers have kind of adapted, and now they're kind of starting to spread out a little bit. Uh-huh. But it's normally the huge rush in the morning, and it's always on the 23rd. Yeah. And then obviously the 2 days before Thanksgiving are just absolutely crazy too. You
do a classic Thanksgiving prepared food offering.
Yeah, we do. We do a la carte, so you can call and order 2 pounds of sliced white meat, a pound of dark meat, a quart of gravy, just, piece by piece. And then we also do prepared meals. We box it. It's basically
meal in a box.
Yeah. And it's four meals per box.
Yeah.
You can get however many boxes, but we've kind of really, Scott and Jennifer kind of perfected that over the years.
Almost nobody else does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super easy for the customers. We have our system down wper we can produce a lot.
Is that pretty popular? That
It's
people
very
order?
popular. Yeah. We sell for if you consider, a box for several hundred. I mean, I don't know, maybe 200-300, and that's in addition to
the individual part.
All the individual cooked stuff, and then that's not even talking about all the turkeys and the turkey
pies.
breast.
And you get pies from Just Pies.
Just Pies and Stevens Pies, which we sell.
In Urbana, is that they're Stevens?
Yeah. We sell it's staggering. If any of you guys want to come peek in the cooler around Thanksgiving time, it's really impressive to see. And the whole team works really, really hard to pull it off, and they do a great job.
What are some of your most popular prepared foods?
That just on an everyday basis,
yeah.
We do a mojito chicken, which is really popular. Even things, and again, like not necessarily just a gourmet market, we'll do the little more involved. We have like an arugula pesto pappardelle with grilled chicken and balsamic glaze. Mm-hmm. But then we also have spaghetti and meatballs.
Right.
Lasagna, which we make. We changed the lasagna recipe a couple of years ago, and it's really, really good lasagna. Johnny Marzetti, pretty much anything and everything. Basically, quiche, we sell a ton of quiche. Mm-hmm. If we put it in that case, it sells.
Wow.
We sell a ton of stuff out of there. And then deli salads, the chicken salad, just the regular chicken salad.
That's one of my favorites.
Which the recipe,
California chicken salad with the grapes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. we just have like the plain traditional, and the recipe hasn't changed since.
But you can add stuff to it.
Yeah. And then we do have the cranberry walnut.
Yeah.
Which is newer, by which I mean in the last like 10 years.
The tuna salad's really good too.
Tuna salad's good.
Okay, now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
So we're the holiday season. Is that the biggest time of the year, or do you find it just ebbs and flows all year long?
For sure.
Because you said that 2 days before Christmas is the biggest day of the year.
Yeah, we have, and especially in the meat department, basically all of November and December, each day is very carefully mapped out because it's just a huge, huge influx of business. And then the summer holidays are always big for us. Basically, like all the holidays, in my mind, because I worked in restaurants, all the holidays that restaurants aren't busy for, we get slammed for. Mm-hmm. So 4th of July, all those holidays where people are cooking out,
right?
Are really busy. Yeah. But then again, we stay busy all year. And again, talking about restaurants, I was always taught that you never want to be the special occasion restaurant.
Right.
Because you need people in seats on a Monday evening, on a Tuesday afternoon.
Well, as a former bartender at a special occasion restaurant, it is like that one night a year people go out.
Yeah.
And they don't tend to tip that well.
I believe it, yeah.
It's amateur night.
It's amateur night,
right?
That's what I call
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And Valentine's.
And Valentine's Day. Yeah, no, you need people at the bar on a Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or in the store just
who love
to
their
buy.
bartender.
Yeah.
Yes. Or in the store on a Wednesday just to pick up a fast dinner for the family.
Yeah. One of the things that we plug in cooking class actually is the charcuterie platters.
Yeah.
We started putting together a few years ago.
Even in Ohio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Rich got an all Ohio charcuterie plat.
Yeah, and we have a new cheesemonger, Anne Marie. She's been doing it. She worked with Kent, who was the former cheesemonger, for at least a year, I want to say, helping him out. And then she took over when he retired. She's been doing it for about a year. She's doing a phenomenal job. And it's the same thing with the wine or whatever. If you throw something at her and she doesn't have it, or maybe she hasn't heard of it, because people come in with some really obscure things. And people will come in and say, I was just in Spain and I had this cheese. and we'll try to find it. And there's a good chance we can get it.
Yeah.
You had the cheese guy there for a couple of years too.
Mike.
Mike.
Yep. Yep. He did a great job too.
How do you describe your customer?
Describe the customer?
Yeah, who's the Weiland's customer?
Oh gosh.
Good question.
Be careful.
Yeah. I would say
In a good way.
Yeah.
interested in food
There you go.
is really the easiest way to say it. It's not they're really the entire spectrum of, we sell a ton of ground beef, we sell a ton of fillets, we sell a ton of ribeyes, we sell a ton of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and we try to have things at different price points, but we always want the quality to be there.
Yeah.
You have to start with good quality, and there's good quality, cheap stuff. I think we have the best ground beef you're going to get, because the way we do it right, we do it fresh. And a lot of the big places, at least, they just don't even grind beef anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we'll never stop doing fresh ground beef at least once every day, usually a couple times a day. But people that care about quality of food, I would say, kind of defines our customer. And we have a reputation for being expensive, which I don't always agree with, but I also don't always fight that, because that's just kind of how it is. But I do think that if you come in there and you want to get out of there without spending a ton of money, it's certainly possible, and you're still going to leave with some really good food.
And you're going to get a quality product.
Absolutely, always.
I think your wine is, there's a lot nice variation on a theme with
And
wines,
well-priced.
not just what's available, but the pricing is nice.
Some people mark them up even more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one of the other things you provide, and I don't know anybody else who's doing it. We were doing a cooking class on a turkey roulade, where you had to bone it while still leaving the breastbone skin.
Okay, yeah.
Jeez, I'm telling you.
And I trying to do it myself out of, I think, Garden or something. The hell with it.
Yeah.
And and you guys said, sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have it ready for 2:00 tomorrow afternoon. That's fine.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that's. I think people so often forget the service part of customer service, and I think going back to the pandemic, it kind of created an adversarial atmosphere between the customer and the employee and the workers, and I think the workers felt really, really abused by the customers. The customers were also frustrated, and they weren't getting the service that they'd come to expect, just in general, anywhere you go. And I think that's had a lingering effect.
That's interesting.
We, in the customer service industry, we had to get used to telling people no, because we couldn't get things, or we just didn't have time to do it. And then customers had to get used to hearing no. And I think we bounced back from that a lot. I think a lot of other places, and I felt at the time that the places that were going to not do so well were the places that kind of stuck with that, and the places that were going to be able to come back from that were the places that got back into actually providing service for customers. And that's really, if you give customers good service, and you really care, and you really listen to them, and you really try to get them what they want, and talk to them, they're people, we're people, then you're probably going to make them happy.
Absolutely.
I feel like
they're
some
going to
people,
tell other people about it.
Right.
That's the most important.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I feel like some people, though, younger people, are just growing up without ever having that old-fashioned grocery store experience that we just kind of grew up with, or they were all small back in the day. I don't know. You guys are kind of young, but back in my day. But I know what you're talking about when you talk about that old-fashioned feel of going into the grocery store.
There was a store like that in Bexley called Paul's.
Oh, yeah.
And it had wooden floors, you know, and you had 2 cans of chicken soup or something on the shelves.
Yeah.
Right.
But it had a feel, and people used it, and they also delivered, which was nice. But,
And we try to keep the feeling, but we're also up to date on trends and different products. There's a lot of really cool stuff. And Andy, my business partner, he's the one he's just really, really in touch with what's popular right now, what's doing well. So we do a really good job of kind of curating a selection that it's an old school feel, but you're still going to go in there and you're going to see these new interesting products.
Yeah.
What are
on
some
the
of
shelves.
them that are current? What's trendy today? Trendy guys.
Well, locally we have
What we think.
we have Sweet Ghost Chocolates is a local chocolate company that's doing really well for us. Yawning Bear Bread, which they've been, I think they're at least the Clintonville Farmers Market, and we carry their breads. Dan the Baker, of course. Ezo Pepperoni is really popular right now.
Best in the
Best
country.
in the
Best of the
country.
best, yeah. And we have people come in and buy a 5-pound bag of that. Buckeye chips. We have chips made in Ohio, which is really cool. And then as far as trends, again, Andy's the guy to talk to. But the protein bars and all those things that people are into, where he's done a really good job kind of curating that.
Yeah, what is it, the David bars? There was an article.
There was just an article in the New York Times, I think, about the health bars or whatever, and how huge
protein's
it's
big.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Who do you consider your what do you consider your competition? Is it an esoteric type of thing, or is it something concrete?
Yeah, I guess it depends on in what way I'm thinking about it, because ultimately it's all the little guys against all the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
They have a massive amount of reach. They have buying power. If Kroger uses Gerber chicken as well. If Gerber has to short us or Kroger, they're shorting us.
Wow.
Okay.
Kroger buys, and I'm not trying to rag on Kroger. It's just the easiest.
It's the biggest
comparative. When they buy their beef, they get a fixed price for 3 months because they're buying pallets and pallets and pallets of beef. So they're insulated a little bit from price fluctuations. So that's really the competition. There's plenty of business to go around for any small independent grocers.
I think of you, Hills Market, Littleton's Market.
Yeah.
Sort of the trendsetters.
Yeah, and and they do a good job. They both do a good job. I want to, and they're all kind of we're spread out a little bit.
Yeah, that's spread out, but I also think that if somebody discovers Littleton's first, hypothetically, they discover Littleton's, they discover the experience, but then they can talk about it at their next dinner party, and someone will say, Littleton's is great, love it. Weiland's, have you checked out Weiland? I mean, once you know, you know.
And they have
Hills, the same thing.
Yeah, they have the coffee shop, Littleton's, they have the patio, things that we don't even have the space for. I think there are plenty of areas where we do a little bit better, and some of our customers also go to Littleton's.
Right.
I don't think Littleton's is going to be the downfall of Weiland's. I don't think Weiland's is going to be the downfall of Littleton's.
Right.
No, I think having those few stores lifts up the other.
It does, yeah.
Once you get into that kind of shopping,
Then
and expect that kind of service and quality of like the prepared foods, you're going to go back.
Yeah, and Hills too. And we should have. I would rather see an independent grocery store in every neighborhood than any more of the big guys. And they can call me and I can call them. If I was in a pinch, I feel like I could call up James at Littleton's, or I could call the Hills, or they could call me, and we would help each other out.
Yeah. Love that. I love that. That's one of the things I love about this town. Well, that's it for Chefs in the City this time. Thanks to Daniel Phillips.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Co-owner of Weiland's Market in Clintonville, for joining us. Check it out on
December 22nd.
Avoid the
Yeah. Come in the afternoon on the 24th of December. Yeah. We'll get you in and out.
And thanks to all of you out there for watching. Remember, a meal is best shared. So share this with your friends and family who love the art of eating. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Check them all out. Thanks as well to my co-hosts, Steve Stover and Rich Terapak, as always. I'm Ann Fisher. See you next time.
Boxland Media. Think big.